My name is Steve Calkins. I have some property in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and I'm an Aggie, so I've been here for quite a long time. How I heard about the program was kind of interesting. One of my tenants couldn't pay the rent, and they had a sign that was left, some advertising was left on their fence that said, if you can't pay your electric bill or any utilities, would you please give us a call? And so the tenant was the person that called, and then they needed more information. So then I worked with the tenant, and we got the county everything they needed to actually not only pay her rent, her utilities as well. The process of having the tenant receive funds for their rent and or utilities is actually, it's a pretty easy one. What they do, there's some required paperwork that they have to have. They need their lease to show that they're living there, or their utility bill, or how COVID had affected them. And once you get their ID and that type of information given to the county, they process all of the paperwork to make sure everything is complete. And when it is, they send it through the approval process. And from that point, it is very efficient. And I tell you, I just can't tell you how much we appreciate what they've done. I would recommend that a landlord communicate with the Doña Ana County representative that you have. We had no idea this program was even there, and it was very difficult for us. I really thank God that we didn't have to evict anybody. We've worked with people for over 2 years with this. COVID it affects everyone. People don't realize that it's affecting the business owner, the employee, someone who can't work, the disabled. There's no stop to where the damage has been done by that disease. And a landlord, if they know about the program, I would strongly recommend that they help the people who are in need, because the landlords, they have bills to pay. The banks call the landlords and say, where's my payment? And it all is the trickle up effect. But the people that it really helps, that need the help, it's invaluable. It really is. So I would recommend that a landlord call immediately, and the process is not a difficult one. Get them what they need. There's information that they require, and if you get it to them, it's a fair process that helps everybody. The payment was paid in a check form. It's my understanding that they could do a direct deposit as well. When we received our check, it was made to our LLC that owns the property, and it was issued here at the county building. And I received a phone call. It was one of the best phone calls that I've received, that said that your payment is ready and it's here waiting for you. The tenants that I have either worked with directly or recommended to the program, many of them have received rent and utilities, both. Some are behind in just their utilities, and some are behind in both. But the interesting thing to me about the program is that the funds that are needed go directly to the person that needs them. These people, I can't tell you what it's like when you meet somebody who can't pay their rent and they can't pay the utilities, and they're looking at you like they're in desperate need. And then this program steps in and not only pays their rent, they're helping them for a few months in the future. And it's so needed. I can't even tell you that I look at COVID and how it's affected people, and sometimes it affects them very slightly, and sometimes it's devastating. I have a friend of mine that had lost a mother and her son as well. And so you go from someone who's asymptomatic, they don't have many issues, but they still lose their job because their employer can't keep them on. So you never know how it will affect you, but there's nothing more gratifying than seeing someone that not only has their rent relieved from the past, but also some help in the future. You can imagine what it's like to tell your landlord that you don't have the money to pay. And when there's a solution, the look in their eye of hope is amazing. But when it actually comes through and they receive the letter that says they're caught up in their rent, they're caught up in their utilities, have a little bit of reprieve in the future as well. I've had people hug me. You know, normally you drive by your tenants and they say hi, and then it's different when they have that respect and that the feeling of worth that they've done what they need to do. I had a tenant tell me today on the way here, he says, "You have no idea how much it eats at me, knowing that I owe this rent." I have one of my tenants who haven't been able to pay rent for 2 years. Can you imagine what it's like every day to wake up wondering, are you going to get an eviction letter? I tell you that, I don't know who thought this program up, but it was brilliant. And, you know, everyone gives. If you think about it, the government, all the work that's been done on that end, the employees here, I cannot tell you how wonderful they are. I've had nothing but respect and professionalism from every single person that I've worked with here at the county. And it's wonderful to see it trickle down to the tenant that needs it. But I thank you for everything this program's done.